Dear students, in today's class, we are going to discuss structure and the preparation of benzene. Page number 207 to 210. So first point, the elemental analysis and the molecular weight determination shows that the molecular formula of benzene is C6H6. What is elemental analysis? First, we have to detect the elements. After preparing an organic compound, we will detect the element. Next, we will do estimation. If carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is present, we have to estimate how much carbon, how much hydrogen and how much oxygen is present. So detection of element, estimation of element will be done. Then with the help of that, we will write empirical formula. Then with the help of molecular weight or molecular mass, finally we can write molecular formula. To derive the molecular formula of an organic compound, we have to do the detection of element, estimation of element, finding the molecular mass, writing empirical formula. The final stage will be the writing molecular formula. So it shows that there are 6 carbon and hydrogen atoms in the benzene. Then point number 2, what type of structure can be drawn for benzene? There are 2 possibilities. Number 1, we can draw a linear structure, straight chain structure. Like alkane, alkene, alkynes, we can draw straight chain structure. Another one is cyclic structure. A ring-shaped structure can be drawn. So 2 possibilities are there for deriving the structure of a benzene. Straight chain structure cannot be drawn for benzene. For that we have to give the evidences. Okay, 2 possibilities are there. With the help of experimental data, straight chain structure will not be the correct one for benzene. Theoretically we may draw, but experimentally it will not be the correct one. So for that we give the evidences. Okay. With the help of molecular formula C6H6, the benzene could not be an alkane. So we know the general formula of alkane, CnH2n plus 2. So n value 6 means definitely hydrogen should be more than 6, isn't it? So benzene cannot be an alkane. 6 carbon atoms present means definitely there should be 14 hydrogen atoms. So CnH2n plus 2 is the general formula of alkane. Substitute 6 instead of n. So there should be 14 hydrogen atoms. So molecular formula of benzene is C6H6. It indicates that benzene is not an alkane. Okay. It can be an alkene as well as alkynes. It should be an unsaturated compound. It will not be a saturated compound like alkane. It is clear. So it should be like an unsaturated compound so that we do the tests of alkenes and alkynes. So in previous classes we have completed what are the chemical properties of alkenes as well as alkynes. So we test benzene whether it obeys the properties of alkenes and alkynes. It is not answering all the tests of alkenes and alkynes. It is an unsaturated compound. It is identified as an unsaturated compound with the help of molecular formula, but it is not answering all the tests of alkenes and alkynes. So it is clear. It should not be mentioned as a straight chain compound. Definitely it should be a cyclic chain compound. If it is answering all the tests of alkene and alkyne, it can be mentioned as a straight chain compound, a linear chain compound. So 3 examples are given in our book. First example is any unsaturated compound like alkene or alkyne will decolorize the bromine. So you take a bromine in water or a bromine in carbon tetrachloride, it is brown in color. When you add an unsaturated compound, it will decolorize the bromine in carbon tetrachloride or bromine in water. So this is a test for an unsaturated compound. The same way, any unsaturated compound will decolorize the acidified KMnO4. It is pink colored solution. The pink color will be disappeared. So an unsaturated compound will decolorize acidified KMnO4 as well as bromine in carbon tetrachloride. This is not possible in benzene. So it should not be a straight chain compound. It should not be an open chain compound. Then next, when you add water with unsaturated compound, you will get addition product. With benzene, the reaction will not be possible. So benzene is not a saturated compound, it is clear. At the same time, like alkenes and alkynes, it cannot be mentioned as a straight chain compound. So it should be drawn as a cyclic chain compound. To mention the benzene as a cyclic chain, we have to give the evidences. First one, it involves in substitution reaction. So if benzene is answering the substitution reactions, it is clear that it is having a cyclic chain. With the bromine, benzene involves in substitution reaction in the presence of aluminum chloride. It gives bromobenzene. So benzene gives mono-substituted product. It is a cyclic compound. Then second evidence, it involves an addition reaction. Benzene involves an addition reaction with hydrogen in the presence of radionickel. It produces cyclohexane. So the product cyclohexane indicates there should be 3 double bond. In the benzene ring, there should be 3 carbon-carbon double bond. Then only cyclohexane is possible. Okay. So from the first 3 points, we know that molecular formula of benzene is C6H6. Straight chain structure is not possible for benzene because it is not answering all the tests of alkenes and alkynes. Even though it is an unsaturated compound, it is not answering all the reactions of unsaturated compounds. So straight chain structure is not possible. It is involving in substitution reaction to provide a mono-substituted product. It provides cyclohexane with hydrogen. So these 2 reactions indicate that benzene should be a cyclic compound. Next, fourth point, Kekule's structure of benzene. So this is the name of the scientist, Kekule. He proposed structure of benzene first in the cyclic form. So the cyclic ring of benzene was first proposed by the scientist Kekule. So during his lifetime, he tried many structures. He tried many open chain structures, but he couldn't make a proper one. So if he proposes a structure, it has to answer the chemical reactions of that structure. So he proposed many structures, but the explanations were not produced. So one day he had a dream. So in his dream, a snake was catching its tail. So he had a dream like that. So before that, he was trying the open chain structures for benzene. So during that dream, a snake was catching its tail. Like that, he had a dream. So he think over it. Why not we can propose a cyclic structure for benzene? So he proposed this cyclic structure for benzene. So the structure of benzene is a very big breakthrough in the field of organic chemistry. So we have nearly 45 million organic compounds. Every single second a new compound is prepared. So these preparation of many organic compounds are mainly due to these type of inventions. Catenation is the major property for more number of organic compounds. So the structure of benzene is an important one in the field of organic. So this is the structure proposed by Kekule. For this structure, scientists were made two objections. So Kekulé proposed that two di-substituted structures. So substitution is possible in benzene. So hydrogen atom of benzene can be replaced by other atom, other group. So two hydrogen atoms can be replaced by two other atoms. So we have a ortho di-substituted product. Okay. So Kekulé proposed two ortho di-substituted products. First one and the second one. So scientists made these two objections. Only one ortho di-substituted product is possible. How can you propose two ortho di-substituted products? Kekulé did not answer this question. And one more objection was, why benzene is not answering all the tests of alkene? It has 3 double bonds, okay. In the Kekulé's benzene structure, he made 3 double bonds between the carbon atoms. Okay, why it is not answering the tests of alkene? So these two were the objections. Kekulé proposed two di-substituted product, two ortho di-substituted product. So it is not possible. He did not give any explanation. Next one, in his structure, 3 double bonds were proposed. If a compound with a double bond means it has to answer the reactions of alkene. So Kekulé did not explain these two questions. Rather, he proposed two structures. Okay. He said that benzene is a mixture of two forms. This is first form and the second form, or first structure, second structure. He said that benzene is a mixture of these two forms and these two are in rapid equilibrium. Like that he said. Okay. So benzene has a cyclic structure, 3 double bonds present in the benzene ring. The position of double bond can be different. So compare structure 1 and 2. The position of double bond is different. So this will lead to resonance. We know that a compound will have more than one structure. More than one structure can be drawn for a compound. It is called a resonance. So these structures are called canonical structures or resonance structures. So these will be interconvertible, right? So to fix the structure, we may draw the hybrid structure. This is called a resonance hybrid. Okay. So Kekulé's first structure and the second structure, the difference is only in the position of a double bond, but actually the double bond will not be a localized one. The pi electrons are involving in delocalization. So this is the resonance hybrid. Benzene will always be indicated in this form. This is point number 5. Next, point number 6. Spectroscopic instruments. There are spectrometers. Different spectrometers are available. After preparing a compound, we can get many informations for the compound using these instruments. You can find what are the elements present, what function group is present, how they are orienting in 3 dimensions, what is the bond length. So many informations can be obtained from the spectroscopic instruments. So from the spectroscopic instruments we get the data. That is, bond length in benzene is 1.40 angstrom. You take Kekulé's structure of benzene. The benzene has single bond as well as a double bond. Carbon-carbon single bond is present. Between the carbon atoms, a double bond also present. Carbon-carbon single bond length is 1.54 angstrom. So in alkanes, carbon-carbon single bond length is 1.54 angstrom. And if you take alkenes, Carbon-carbon double bond is there. Its bond length is 1.34 angstrom. So what we expect in benzene, the single bond should have 1.54 angstrom as bond length, and the double bond should have bond length 1.34. So we expect two bond lengths for benzene. Single bond will have 1.54 and double bond will have 1.34, but it is not possible. All the covalent bonds in benzene will have equal bond length 1.40 angstrom. So this is the data we obtained from spectrometry. Okay, so in benzene all the covalent bonds are equal, so it has equal bond length 1.40 angstrom. If you take alkanes, only single bond is present, bond length 1.54 angstrom. If you take alkenes, along with a single bond, a double bond is also present, bond length 1.34. Why we get the equal bond length for all the covalent bonds? Because of delocalization. So pi electrons are not localized. If you take alkenes, the double bond will be present between two atoms. It is a localized pi electrons. But in benzene, there is a delocalization of pi electron, so that for all the covalent bonds, we get equal bond length. Then we can derive the structure of benzene with the help of molecular orbital theory, MOT. We know the atomic number of carbon, 6. Ground state electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1. So we studied already in chemical bonding lesson. Excited state configuration 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. So there will be hybridization. If a double bond is present in a compound, definitely the carbon will have sp2 hybridization. I already told you, with the help of bond, you can identify the hybridization. The carbon is having only single bond, it is sp3 hybridized. If a carbon has a double bond, it is sp2 hybridized. If a carbon has a triple bond, it is sp hybridized. We already studied. So in benzene, there are three double bonds, so the carbon will be sp2 hybridized. Okay, so you take carbon, it is involving in sp2 hybridization. 2s orbital, 2px orbital and 2pz orbital. These three atomic orbitals are intermixing together to produce three hybridized orbitals. So 2p's orbital having one electron, 2px orbital having one electron, 2py orbital is having an electron. So these three atomic orbitals with a single electron of carbon will intermix together to produce three sp2 hybridized orbital with a single carbon. The carbon is involving in sp2 hybridization, so there are three sp2 hybridized orbitals. Okay. Every sp2 hybridized orbital has a single electron for overlapping. What is the primary condition for overlapping? Orbital should have an unpaired electron, single electron, then only it will be involving in overlapping. So the same way, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon and sixth carbon. So all the carbon atoms are involving in sp2 hybridization. So you take first carbon, there are three sp2 hybridized orbitals. Every sp2 hybridized orbital has a single electron. You take second carbon, the same arrangement, three sp2 hybridized orbital with a single electron. Remaining 2pz orbital is there, it has only one electron. 2pz orbital is not involving in hybridization, it is called unhybridized orbital with a single electron. Okay, so C6H6 is a molecular formula of benzene. Carbon is involving in sp2 hybridization. There will be three sp2 hybridized orbitals with electron. Now we move into the overlapping. How there is a covalent bond formation between the carbon atoms between the carbon and hydrogen atoms. You take first carbon, sp2 hybridized orbital with a single electron of first carbon, sp2 hybridized orbital of second carbon with a single electron will involve in direct overlapping. It is called linear or head-on overlapping. It will make sigma type of covalent bond. So between first carbon and the second carbon, sigma type of covalent bond is formed due to mutual head-on or linear overlapping of sp2 hybridized orbitals with a single electron. You take one more sp2 hybridized orbital of first carbon. It is overlapping with 1s orbital of a hydrogen. So hydrogen has only one electron in 1s orbital. Due to this head-on overlapping, one more covalent bond is formed between first carbon and hydrogen. Then remaining one more sp2 hybridized orbital of first carbon will overlap with sp2 hybridized orbital of sixth carbon, and a covalent bond is formed. So with the help of molecular orbital theory, we can easily understand sigma covalent bond formation in benzene. So there are 6 carbon atoms. Every carbon has sp2 hybridized orbitals, 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals with a single electron. All the 3 hybridized orbitals of carbon are involving in head-on overlapping. So every carbon is making 3 covalent bonds. You take the first carbon, which is making 3 covalent bond. One sigma bond with second carbon, one more sigma bond with sixth carbon, one more sigma bond with hydrogen. So these 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms are lying in a plane. So benzene is a planar molecule. All the 6 carbon atoms and all 6 hydrogen atoms are lying in a plane. It is planar in structure. Okay. Next, formation of a pi bond. So every carbon has 3 sp2 hybridized orbital. All the 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals of carbon atoms involved in sigma bond formation over. Remaining, every carbon atom has 2pz orbital with a single electron. It is not involved in hybridization, so it is called unhybridized orbital. So the unhybridized orbital of carbon is perpendicular to the plane. I already told 6 carbon and 6 hydrogen atoms are lying in a plane. Now the unhybridized 2pz orbital with a single electron is perpendicular to the plane. Okay. Now these 2pz orbital of all the 6 carbon atoms will involve in pi bond formation. How pi bond is formed? We already studied. Lateral overlap or sidewise overlap of orbital will give you pi bond. Okay. You take these 2 orbitals, sidewise or lateral overlapping of these 2 will make a pi bond. The same way, these 2pz orbitals will overlap in a sidewise manner. It will create a pi bond. And these 2pz orbitals will involve in overlapping in a sidewise manner. It will create pi bond. So how much pi bonds are possible? Double bond. How much pi bonds are possible in benzene? 3 pi bond. But these pi bonds, double bonds, are not localized. It is not only applicable for 2 carbon atoms alone. So the pi electrons will spread over all the carbon atoms. You can observe the structure. 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms are in a plane. Now the pi electrons will spread over all the carbon atoms above and below the plane. Above the plane as well as below the plane, the pi electrons will spread over all the carbon atoms. It is called delocalization of pi electron. So I repeat it once again. Every carbon has 6 atomic number configuration 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. This is the exited state configuration. 2s, 2px, 2py. These three orbitals are involved in sp2 hybridization. It will create three sp2 hybridized orbital with a single electron. Remaining last 2pz orbital is having a single electron, which is not a hybridized orbital. So every carbon in benzene will make three covalent bond with its neighbors. Two covalent bond with carbon atoms, one covalent bond is with hydrogen. This is due to head-on or linear overlapping of orbitals. It will create a sigma bond. And we have unhybridized 2pz orbital. Every carbon has unhybridized 2pz orbital with a single electron. Lateral or sidewise overlapping will make a pi bond, and this pi bond is not a localized one. The pi electrons will spread over all the carbon atoms above the plane as well as below the plane. So what should be the proper structure for benzene? This should be the proper structure. 6 carbon and 6 hydrogen atoms are lying in the plane. Above and below the plane, the pi electrons are spreading over. Okay, so this will be the proper structure for the benzene, and this is Kekulé's structure of benzene, and this is the structure of benzene in expanded form. Usually the circle inside the ring represents delocalization of pi electron over all the 6 carbon atoms. So structure of benzene is an important question. Next, benzene and its homologous series. The general characteristics are benzene and the derivatives of benzene are colorless liquids with pleasant odor, and usually they are lighter than water but insoluble in water. These aromatic compounds are highly flammable, volatile as well as toxic in nature. Next, what is the source for aromatic compound? It can be obtained from coal tar as well as petroleum. In larger quantity, we prepare these aromatic compounds, benzene and its homologous series, will be obtained from coal tar and petroleum. Some of the compounds can be prepared in the laboratory also. Using aliphatic compounds, we can prepare it in laboratory also. First one, industrial preparation. In large scale, benzene and the derivatives of benzene can be obtained by fractional distillation of coal tar. So coal tar is a liquid which is obtained from coal, petroleum. Okay, so by doing fractional distillation of coal tar at low temperatures around 350 to 443 Kelvin, benzene and the derivatives like toluene, xylene, all these will be evaporated. Next, using the aliphatic compound, we can prepare benzene. So this is called a polymerization reaction. You just pass acetylene or ethane gas over a red hot iron tube at 873 Kelvin, you will get benzene. This is a polymerization reaction. Next, decarboxylation. For that, we need a salt of carboxylic acid. You can take sodium or potassium salt of benzoic acid. So it will be added with soda lime. Sodium benzoate is heated with soda lime. It is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. Due to decarboxylation, carbon dioxide is eliminated. So due to decarboxylation, we get benzene. Next one is a reduction process. When phenol is reduced with zinc, we get benzene. So oxygen is removed. Removal of oxygen is called what? Reduction process. We get benzene with the liberation of zinc oxide. Next, preparation of toluene. So toluene is a derivative of benzene. In benzene, a hydrogen is replaced by a methyl group, it will be toluene. So we do Woods reaction. So usually in Woods reaction, two alkyl halide molecules will be added with sodium. The same way, here Woods-Fittig reaction, we take bromobenzene and iodomethane. One aromatic halide, one is aliphatic halide. Both the molecules are added with sodium metal in the presence of dry ether. We get toluene, with the liberation of sodium bromide and sodium iodide. Next one, Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. We take benzene, it is involving in a substitution reaction. Hydrogen is replaced by a methyl group. Okay, so this is alkylation process. Benzene is treated with chloromethane. In the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride, we get toluene with the liberation of hydrochloric acid. So this is the preparation of derivative of benzene. So with this we completed today's class. Tomorrow we will discuss chemical properties of benzene. Thank you.